What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today I built a Star Destroyer in Roblox. So today I'm going to be showing you how I did it and the whole process led up to it. So let's go and hop right on into it. So basically I started the process off by just building the main like frame of it, I guess you'd call it. This took a long time to do just because of the shape of it. It's basically like a triangular thing. I'll leave a picture of it up on screen right now for you guys to see. This is like, it took a long time because if you look at the picture, there's like an indentation right where about halfway up to it. So I was trying to figure out a good design I could get for this process and make it look exactly like the Star Destroyer, which is basically what I did here. I got it, and I decided to bring it out to make it look even better, to make it look more like a starship and make it look like it's meant to land on something and have weapons built into the side of it, because I don't know if you guys ever watched Star Wars, but it basically looks like a giant pizza, is basically what the Star Destroyer looks like. Obviously, if you guys have ever watched Star Wars, you would know that. And then I had to build up even more. Like, I put it up 2 layers on the outside to make it look better. It looks pretty good so far. And then I started building up again. And then Tyler was actually over there, and he had a visitor on his ship. So I went over to see that for a quick second. It's pretty funny. He had a person wearing a dog skin over there who was on his chair. But I didn't go over there for too long because I had to run back over and finish his build. So I went over and I started filling it in because I didn't want it to be lopsided. So I wanted the whole entire thing to be filled up. So I eventually filled it up in the center. It didn't really change anything. It did change it just a little bit, but filling up the back of it was basically a mistake because it didn't really do anything once I filled up so much of it. As you guys can see right now, it's changing a little bit, but none of that really matters when you're speed building. So the next thing I did was I finished it off and made it look even better. So it looked more, like I said, like the Star Destroyer, and made it look 10 times better than what it already did. After I did that, I took a little look at it so far, and it was looking really good. A little bit taller than what I wanted it to look like, but all in all, it looked pretty good. Now, I did want to add another layer, but there were so many flaws to it doing this because it wasn't even. So I eventually just decided to delete it because there was like flaw after flaw, design flaws. So eventually, I found out the problem, but then I eventually just decided to delete it because I solved one problem and then there was another one. So I eventually just decided to delete the whole thing and make it look a little better in my opinion. I think if I would have did that, it would have made it look too high because it's already pretty tall and I didn't want it to look extremely tall. Now I started working on the back half, which was like where the commander and stuff sits. Started working on that. Had to do something to the side real quick because I did notice something. But then I went straight back to the back area, like I said, where the commander sits. It wasn't too hard to build this because I was looking at a picture, so I just had to build it up in the 3 layers that is in the picture. And guys, the pictures I'm showing you is the exact pictures I was looking at as I was building this. It was really hard to find the right pieces to build some of these things because between all the wedges and stuff, I had to find the right pieces to build the power the power orbs that absorb all the energy. And then I even eventually had to build back 2 because it wasn't even and I couldn't get it to work without making it look too crowded and without making it look really nice. So like I said, I had to bring this thing back and just fill this all in for decoration purposes, like I said. And it didn't take too long, just a little bit. Looked over, Tyler had way too many horns on his. It was just really funny. He had a bunch of horns on his plane so he could go beep, 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 beep all day. So I eventually got back up here, worked more on this. I went up and built the place where the power orbs are. It wasn't too hard to build that. I unfortunately did have to build back 2 more because I couldn't put them evenly on there. And I don't know about you guys, but when I can't do things evenly, I have to do it. I put the seat down there, just put it there so it wouldn't work. I had to build a staircase too because I couldn't get back up there, so I had to do that. Then I built it over 1 more, made it look better, and eventually built the power orbs, which are right there, and made it look awesome. Then I built just a little extra design right there, and this is the final process, and it looked amazing. And then I started working on the thrusters in the back. Now, unfortunately, it wasn't even, so I did have to kind of do trial and error with the engines and make it look like it fit in there the best way I could. So I finally put those in there, and I put some hover thrusters because, guys, it doesn't go like up and down, like it kind of floats and goes forward and backwards. It doesn't really like do things that most Star Wars ships do. So I put hover thrusters down there to make it kind of float flat on its bottom. And then we did, for the first test run, I figured out the controls, and then we went for the first test run. And it looked like it was going to go well. We went up into the air, and then we just kind of went backwards, and it didn't end too well for the ship. There was just too much on the back, so we had to update the boosters to make it look better. Now, I tried everything. I tried adding more boosters to it, and it didn't work. I tried updating the speed of the boosters and the power, and it still didn't work for some reason. So after both of these attempts, I did just decide to delete some of them in the front. It, all in all, I'm pretty happy with how it looked. Like, it didn't really bother me how it looked on the bottom, just because you never saw it. And it still went down a little bit in the back, but you could still fly it, and it looked awesome while you were doing it. Until you went off the edge, and then we had a little bit of problems. It's a backflip action, and just looked like it was at a circus. But after all that, we eventually went back, and we had to start working on the paint. I did a few more adjustments to it, made it look just a little bit better, deleted some of the back, kind of cleaned it up a little bit, gave it a nice little shave, and then I brought it down and prepared to start painting it. So as we brought it down, it was a little hard to paint, just because what we had to do. Now, I did have to change the sides a little bit more to make it look better, but then all in all, it was time to do the paint job. We got the nice gray color, and we started painting the front of it. Now, this didn't take too long. It was just really time-consuming to just hold it in. Like, at first, I didn't realize you could hold it in. I was tapping the mouse button every single time I wanted to place something down. And then I eventually had to fix the side again. But eventually, I figured out you could hold it, and it made the process a whole lot easier. Plus, it made it look better because you could paint the thrusters, and it made it look 10 times better, which I was scared it wouldn't let you paint them. We were able to paint the seat, and we just went all in and just painted everything. We looked at Tyler's, which he made his do a backflip. It's pretty funny. And then we went in, we just started painting the whole thing, and just made it look really nice, in my opinion. We went around it, we looked at it, and we wanted to make sure it looked good. And then I got in it, about to drive it again, and I realized I missed a spot, which was sad. And then I accidentally painted it white again. But guys, all in all, I think this was a pretty great project. Let me know, guys, in the comment section down below if you think it was good. I think I'm going to leave you all with this in today's video. I hope you enjoyed. I'm really happy with how it turned out, and I'll see you all in the next one.